And he's won a few more and some national titles and some stock car titles with USAC, but I understand this is your first ride in a late model. So why this late in the career do you come out here for the first time?
Well, Marion Collins and Gary Collins has run the car for quite a bit. I was going to be out here doing some testing with little Tony George, and George Snyder's good friends with him. And we got to talking. They wanted to know if I wanted to race while I was out here, and I said, why not? So Gary's nice enough to let me drive his car. He's won a lot of races in, so we're just going to try and have a lot of fun and try to win a race.
Every time the fans think you're about to slow down, you do something otherwise. You told me last fall you had sold part of your interest in the Chevrolet dealership to really devote more time to racing, so you're making a concerted effort once again this season.
Well, that's quite true. I'll be able to spend more time racing, having some fun before I have to leave this old cruel world, and so I'm going to do something I want to do.
How'd you avoid the rookie stripes in the back out here?
I really need them, I'll tell you.
Super Tex, A.J. Foyt starting outside the second row, and Gary Collins, number 28.
Usually in winter, we come to Phoenix, Arizona to avoid the winter. That didn't work out this year. The temperature says it's 51 degrees, but the wind makes it feel much lower than that. It's showing at 12 miles per hour, humidity 26%, and the chance of rain 15%, but it's not a typically pleasant Phoenix day. The starting grid is beginning to roll off. There goes A.J. Foyt, Roman Kalzinski, one of the stars of the Southwest. Harry Gant goes by, and there is Motor Eddie, Ed Ash. A lot of the engines that he has constructed power many of the cars in this field. The starting grid, starting from the bottom, Ted Musgrave, the pole setter, Rick Corelli on the outside. Then Ken Peterson and A.J. Foyt. In row 3, Harry Gant from the Deep South, and a star out here, Roman Kalzinski. In row number 4 on the inside is Ed Ash and Ken Schrader, another of the NASCAR racers, on his right side. In row number 5, Jerry Scheil from Houston, Texas, and Garrett Evans. In the 6th row, Jerry Bowers, a star at Phoenix, and Ron Hornaday Jr. Row 7, Ray Hooper Jr. and Danny Crofton. In the 8th row, Hilton Vale and Ray Neveu. In the 9th row, this is 17th and 18th position, Beebe and Sedgwick. And in the 10th row, Darrell Stewart and Ron Brown. In row number 11, Randy Moore in car 34, flanked by Scott Lee in car number 26. And then Jay Watson and Jim Thurkettle, a 3-time winner. Ronnie Esau and Greg Biffle make up row number 13. And the 14th row is J.D. Hughes, a former winner here, and Jay Sauter. The 15th row, Larry Gray, he flipped on the front stretch a year ago. And car number 3, Harry Brady. And Steve, here is Kenny Schrader. We're accustomed to seeing him on the high banks in the Deep South, but here at Phoenix today.
He brought his own car up. He wanted to drive this stock car race real bad, and he brought his own car, and he feels real comfortable in it today.
Here's Jim Thurkettle. Now, he did not have as good a qualifying time as he would like to have had. He's the only driver to win 3 consecutive years out here.
Jim's an old-time racer that I raced with back in 1965 in stock cars.
That makes you more than 29, right?
Just barely.
Now, here's a familiar name and face, Harry Gant, still hobbling on crutches, Steve.
He's still hobbling on crutches, but in a race car, he looks like he's fit. He looks real good today. And
he was very strong in the Busch Grand National cars, reasonably similar to these in the late part of 1988. Car number 39 is a graduate of all things of Formula Open Wheel Racing. He came from the driver's schools. This is Ken Peterson from the San Francisco area.
Well, you know, I've always said a lot of these racetracks, road courses and oval courses, always have corners that are the same.
Yeah, you have to stand on the gas pedal just about the same way. Coming down for the green flag, we have a start, and Ted Musgrave, the man who sat on the pole, not a new track record, takes the initial lead.
Made a nice move on the start, got the line, a little sideways there, but he saves it, pulls out a good lead on the first lap.
So it's Musgrave with last year's winner, Rick Corelli, running in second, and Ken Peterson from the West Coast. And we have a spin already. That's the number 70 of Ray Hooper. He's on the outside. Also involved is Harry Brady. It looks like Greg Biffle is also. There's Ron Esau going down through the dust. Steve, did you see it develop?
I saw it. I did. All you see is the 70 car against the fence, and then there's so much traffic, everyone's trying to avoid. A couple other guys lost it, and then pretty soon it's just total mayhem. With the dust, you can't really see what happens.
Yeah, you know, out here in the Southwest, you get down in the infield, and it's pretty dry down there, isn't it?
It is, except for right here where Buddy Job has put out this nice grass. The rest of the infield is just solid dust, and when someone gets in the infield, it destroys your vision.
Well, all this happening on the initial attempt to start this race, so we will have to restack the starting grid and go to a complete restart lineup here for the 12th annual Copper World Classic. There is A.J. Foyt on the outside of Peterson.
And we just saw a shot of his IndyCar hauler for, he's supposed to be out here next week testing his IndyCar.
So because no official lap was recorded, we'll be back for the hopefully official restart of today's contest. Harry Gant, Ken Schrader, A.J. Foyt. In today's contest will be a part of this 20 of 29 Winston Cup races broadcast live in 1989 on ESPN. Coming down for the restart, we have a green flag, and Musgrave again gets the jump chassis.
Same exact move. He makes a straight line from the middle of the corner right down to his turn-in point. Has the same start and the same lead as he did the last lap, except here comes A.J. Foyt around the outside this time. Got a great start in the second position.
Foyt, an entirely different picture on this second start. A.J. Foyt had dropped back to fourth on the first restart. Now he moves up to second in front of Rick Corelli, last year's winner. There goes Ken Peterson in that white and orange number 39, coming down to complete the official lap number 1. Ted Musgrave out of Wisconsin. Ted Musselgrave, let's call him. Helping us out on the broadcast today, Gary Lee, and he's got his first report for us from down along pit road. No pit stops planned.
Gary Collins knows his way around this racetrack as well as anybody, but today he's running the team for A.J. Foyt. You did some coaching on that first start, didn't you?
Yeah, he wanted it out. He said third gear, fourth gear. I told him we need a third gear start so I can run with him a little harder.
The first start was not so good for him. The early yellow came out. The restart was much, much better. He's now riding second. What's the team's strategy?
Well, I told him to drive it as hard as he could because it's only 40 laps in. Musgrave's on a little softer set of tires than we are. I hope when the heat comes in ours, they'll be able to run him down a little bit.
There's still a lot of infighting in the back of the pack. The competition is really, and we have a spin. It appears to be Greg Biffle. Greg was involved in that. Yes, it is. It's Biffle. He was involved in the first lap crash, but unlike that one, he appears to be alone in this one. Kenny Schrader, who started in the mid-pack, Steve, we expected him to be among the front runners. He's in for an unexpected pit stop.
This looks like an unexpected pit stop. They're going to start jacking the left side up here and change rubber now. You wouldn't expect him to be in this early, so it must have had some other reason.
Kenny Schrader, who has had much success here at this racetrack in the Valvoline Silver Crown cars, but not so much success with the stock cars, coming in to change left side tires. Now, this is a very early yellow. It will put him at the back of the pack, but he still has ample time to be competitive here at Phoenix.
Well, they changed 4 tires, but there was a crewman who reached in there and pulled out something else, Steve.
To me, it looked like it was the mirror bar. It's a full-length mirror that goes across the front roll bar. And it looked like Kenny was taking it loose, like maybe it came loose, and they got it out of the way so it wouldn't fall during the race.
Well, Ted Musgrave, who qualified almost 2 miles per hour faster than the entire field here, has led the first few laps here at the Phoenix International Raceway. And I'll tell you, when he steps on the throttle, she responds.
He has a lot of engine in that car. He seems to be stronger than anybody else there so far. AJ's running good, but he's certainly not catching him at all.
Well, Musselgrave, who won in ARTCO, ASA, and in All-Pro in 1988-89, the only driver in America to complete all of that, will also be running with ARCA and possibly some selected Winston races, running in the Busch Grand National Series this season here in the Deep South.
We saw a little picture of Harry Gant there a moment ago. That's a new Dillon car he's running here, and he has high hopes of doing well with that car. But there's a quick guy right there.
Since 1982, only 3 drivers have won stock car Copper Worlds, and one of them is in that red number 5, Jim Thurkettle, and Gary Lee is in his pits.
Well, Don, this could be a rags to riches story for this team this weekend. It didn't start out so well, but it looks real good right now.
Everything's going real good. He says the car's running strong. He's going to cool the tires a little bit and just down the pace right now.
Steve, last year this stock car race took over 2 hours to run. That was a year ago because of all the yellow flags. So Thurkettle, a veteran out here, knows he's going to have some more chances.
He'll have some more chances, and Harry Gant's got a chance right now. He gets tight on the back of Peterson, but he just can't seem to get by him. He's working and working. He's trying the outside line.
Harry Gant, his first ever Copper Classic. Ken Peterson, the young Beach Boy appearing driver from the San Francisco area. And they are following last year's champion, the High Plains drifter from Denver, Colorado, Rick Corelli. Corelli's smart on this racetrack. He could be conserving tires.
He could be, but he's running pretty hard. You notice the car took a whole side slide that time. He can't run much faster than he is. And it's a tough battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Car number 39 moving to the inside, Ken Peterson. Remember, this is the Formula car driver. Until a year ago, he had never sat in a stock car. He says, however, the route to riches, if you will. The big time is more clearly defined in stock cars.
Nice race for 4th and 5th here. There's Gant on the outside. That's where the fast line is. Gets a good run off the corner and gets by Peterson pretty good.
And someone else indicating he's interested in getting into this fray is the 6th running Jerry Bowers, the Meridian, Idaho racer. He's the 4th car on the screen there, 6th in the race.
Peterson doesn't want to give it up. He made a nice dive to the inside. Now, 197, that's the first number I ever had on my very first stock car in 1964.
Shades of Red Farmer from the Deep South, but today that belongs to Ted Musgrave. He's another second-generation driver. His father, Elmer, came out of the Chicagoland area stocks in the 1950s and ran many times in the mile dirts in USAC. There's A.J. Foyt running in second. They're running first and second, but the 3rd position is very much up for grabs.
Oh, yes, it is. You see Peterson's right there. It's one little mistake by Harry Gant, and Peterson's going to get back by because he seemed to have enough engine to hold Harry off until he got in a passing situation in the middle of a corner.
I know you're used to seeing Harry Gant in green and white. Today he's in almost pure white. That's Harry on the outside of number 6, Rick Corelli. Harry Gant is putting the pressure on Rick Corelli, coming down, challenging for the number 3 spot. I think Harry's got him.
He's got him passed. You know, it's amazing how a guy like Harry Gant didn't take him long to find the outside groove here. Most of these guys will never find it, but Harry found it. He's going right to the front.
Well, it took him a while to get around Peterson. Peterson is that orange and white number 39 that goes by right there. But now, once Harry has disposed of Corelli and Peterson, let's see what he's got. Does Gant have enough to catch Foyt and to catch Ted Musgrave? Ted Musgrave continues to dominate, and there is Peterson almost losing control.
That's what you call a tank slapper. That's one side to the other. Darn good
motorcycle racing, right? That's
right.
Tank slapping.
That's right.
Another interesting story is Kenny Schrader, that red and white number 52 from the back of the pack after a pit stop. Out of control. It's not Schrader. It's Ray Neveu. Ray Neveu not touched from behind, simply losing control as he came off of turn number 4. Surely this will bring out the yellow flag, so we'll take an opportunity to take a break. Here's the leaderboard with Ted Musgrave continuing to set the pace here at PIR. Okay, after the Neveu crash in the front stretch, we'll go back to racing here. That orange and black 7 is Jerry Scheil from the Houston, Texas area, somewhat of a protege of A.J. Foyt. He says he sponsored him off and on for the last 10 years. We've got a spin in turn number 1. It's Motor Eddie. Ed Ash is involved. 3-4 other cars also tangled up. Some of the leaders were involved, Steve.
That's right. There's Peterson, either 3rd or 4th. He got through, had some sheet metal hanging off his car, but I think the leaders all got through.
Well, Ash did not lose control. There appeared to be another car right behind him. There is Ed sitting silently in turn number 1.
It looked like the 66 car, Darrell Stewart, might have just picked him up entering the corner on his bumper and turned him sideways.
There's Jerry Scheil. All the drivers moving around inside the car. There appears to be no injuries. Yeah, there is Stewart getting right behind Ed Ash, and he spins out. The field is very close here. He catches Stewart as he spins around.
There's Peterson coming through, and oh, he just doesn't quite make it and gets caught in the right quarter, pulled his sheet metal off, but a great job of saving the car. Continues.
Well, Peterson had a top 5 run going here, so there's a tough break for him. There was a lot of damage to Peterson's car. There you can see the right side is entirely ripped off. Of course, that's just sheet metal and or fiberglass, so it's no structural damage there as you might expect. But Gary Lee is down there. Let's have him update us.
Gary, earlier we talked about the tire factor today. You've had a chance now to walk over to the pit wall and get a visual assessment of the tire situation. Bring us up to date. Well, obviously, AJ is talking to him from the cockpit. He called AJ over under this yellow. AJ made a very slow pass by the inside pit wall. Gary was hanging over the wall to check out the tire situation. Once again, the assessment.
Well, I didn't see no shiny spots on it, so it looks like they're still in good shape. And he says they don't feel bad, but we're worried about maybe getting them, a little hot. But the tires look good. He says the car's handling good. He says Musgrave's just got a little more horsepower than he does, and everything seems to be fine. I just wanted to get a good look at him before we went green again.
Any change of strategy the last 12 laps?
He says he's driving his ass off. There ain't no more we can do than that.
Well, when Tex says that, you can believe it.
Yeah, sure.
Well, with those traditionally succinct words from A.J. Foyt, that was Gary Collins, the crew chief. Gary has driven this very car to 2 wins here at Phoenix. Steve, I think he's coming in. He's below the yellow line.
Sure looks that. Yes, he's on his way in.
You know, he's working from a big disadvantage. This is his first time ever in one of these late models, And Steve, he has got, I would say, a serious tire situation there in the right front.
It's flat. He must have run over some trash from the wreck and cut it. So now, will they change 2 or 4?
Well, here is A.J. Foyt. He has lost the right front tire. He's lost the air in the right front. However, Gary Collins called him on the radio, said A.J. will change all 4. They have time to do that under this yellow. But what a costly tire problem for Supertex. He was riding second, being challenged for that position by Harry Gant. Right now, Gant may have the fastest set of wheels out there. They only have a few laps left after this yellow, so keep an eye on Harry Gant in 33 as we continue to watch the progress of a 4-tire change here in the Copenhagen Camaro number 28 of A.J. Foyt.
So, Foyt has 4 new, faster tires, but the question is, does he have enough time? Well, there are less than 10 laps to go, but I got a feeling that we've got a shot here at seeing a real A.J. Foyt show in the tradition of A.J. Foyt Supertex driving. A.J. Foyt will go to the back of the field, but can he catch the leaders?
There's a well-used tire. So, aha, see, there's a cut they're pointing to. That's why it went down. He went through the trash and flattened the tire.
Well, here are the top 5, and we'll be back to see whether or not Foyt can pull out the rabbit. Wisconsin's Ted Musgrave hopes to finish off what he started here at PIR. He has switched from Buick to Chevrolet in 1989. He's in a 3-year-old chassis. It's the same chassis, but Steve, he's never wrecked this car.
That means a lot. When these stock cars don't get wrecked, as you go through a corner, it bends the chassis. They take a set. And once that car is set, it never wants to flex, and they answer true to the adjustments.
Second running Harry Gant, the white number 33, last year's winner, the High Plains drifter, Rick Corelli is third, and there challenging him for third are a couple of contenders, Garrett Evans out of Washington in car number 64, and Meridian, Idaho's Jerry Bowers in the red number 85.
Look here on the inside, it's A.J. Foyt.
Oh, Foyt with a brand new set of tires is lopping them off at the rate of 5 cars per lap. Now the question is, inside of 10 laps to go, does he have enough time to become a contender to win this race?
The way he's moving, it's very possible. It's amazing to see what a new set of tires can do on a car that's good.
Yeah, new set of tires, but this is an old man who supposedly is washed up, right?
That's what everyone says. But you know, with the amount of ability and the years of talent that this guy has, you can see it on a day like today.
Moving underneath Ron Esau, Ed Ash, and moving up on Troy Beebe. Now here are 3 stars from the West Coast. A.J. Foyt is not making his way through back markers. A challenge for third. Bowers on the inside.
What a move. He just squeezed him up enough where he couldn't pick the throttle up, and he had Corelli in a position where he couldn't give up.
In that blue car is Garrett Evans. Garrett Evans has also remained with the leaders. He has conserved his tires. Flames coming out from the headers, but Garrett Evans is running hot.
Looks like Corelli may have overheated his tires. Now he's backing up a little slowly.
There is Musgrave, and the last time he went by, Steve, he is getting off early. This guy has got a lot left in reserve. He is unchallengeable today. There is second position Harry Gant, and this guy is slowing down for sure, and he's got a problem.
Yeah, it looks like he lost an inch, and too bad. He ran a good race up to second. He for surely wasn't going to catch Musgrave, but he had a sure second in hand.
So that sets up a battle for second place between Evans and Bowers, and here comes Foyt, meanwhile, moving to the inside of Schrader. We have not seen him for a while. He moved up to a position about 6th, and then he stopped.
That's right. AJ has continued on. When Schrader changed the tires, he just moved right up to where he is at 6th and stopped. Couldn't go any further. AJ, on the other hand, came from the back and is just continuing on.
White flag for leader Musgrave. Evans right there in the blue car. He's in second. And here comes A.J. Foyt, and he has designs on third place. Believe it or not, that's Jerry Bowers. Foyt is going to try and challenge on the final circuit.
If he can get an opening, he's faster getting off the corner and down the straight. So if he can get an opening through the last turn, 3rd and 4th, there, almost had it. Not quite. There he goes again. Yes.
Bowers
Can he hold it?
out. Bowers slides out. He went through the dog leg. Meanwhile, here comes the checkered flag for Musgrave, a foregone conclusion. And here comes Foyt. Can you believe it? A.J. Foyt comes from last, about 22nd position, just 8 laps to go, and he nets a 3rd place.
Well, that shows you that A.J. certainly is not washed up. Good race car, and a new set of tires makes a bunch of difference.
But the Skoal Copper World Classic in 1989 belonged to that silver and gray red trim number 197, Ted Musgrave. 1989 version of the Phoenix International Raceway Copper World Classic, and Gary Lee is with him.
Ted, congratulations. It appeared you had him covered all weekend, practice, qualifying, and the race itself.
Everything went really well this weekend. Nothing went wrong. And right now, I'm not going to say, but I think there might be something wrong with the right rear tire. The last couple laps, I just ran about half throttle because I think it might have been going flat or something.
But you had a great advantage on the restarts.
It's a little trick.
Obviously, he's not going to tell us about it. Congratulations, Ted.
Well, that secret speculation. He seemed to pick the throttle up at a different place on the track every time. Plus, he abruptly took away the outside lane from whomever was starting in second place. Here are the top 5 in today's race. Musgrave, of course, followed by Garrett Evans, A.J. Foyt, Jerry Bowers. And
Well, that's right. I was a rookie. I was just trying to keep my nose clean. They dropped the green. We blew the right front tire. I told him, I said, oh, God. I said, we're out of it. So I just went for broke there at the end. Hell, I didn't have nothing to lose. And the owner told me if I wrecked it, he'd be proud of me. So, like I say, all I can say is Marion and Gary Collins, I want to thank them. It was a hell of a lot of fun and probably the most fun I had in racing in 20 years. And first time I got in for a car owner, he said that sheet metal will be replaced if you bend it, and it won't make me mad. So I felt when Snyder's on the trailer and said, go for it, I said, here we go.
I don't think I've seen him smile any bigger.